All right, here we go. Trap Lord Ross, welcome back to Vlad TV.
Good to be back, man.
Well, a lot has happened since last time, but we can't start this interview without talking about how Central Cee's goons pressed you at ComplexCon.
Squash the beef, man. Can we squash the beef, or is it?
Never have beef, man.
Are you sure?
Man. Never have beef.
Come on, I appreciate you, bro. You know I said your album was the best UK album that was ever dropped.
I heard you.
No, you just say you gotta do a little bit more research. You say you're not the facts ain't there yet.
Hey, look, I heard.
Hey, listen, what makes you think you can come in and speak like that?
I mean, I thought I was just saying what's up.
You just saying what's up.
Nah, he good.
Just saying what's up. How is it? It's like that.
Get out of the booth, bro. Get the fuck out of the booth, bro.
It's good.
Get out, bro. Relax, man. Go outside the booth, and I'll come outside and I'll talk to you outside the booth. Get out of the booth.
Is that what it is?
Get yourself out of the booth. Good, man. Take him out of the booth, bro. You ain't got nothing. Take him out. I got it.
I'm holler at you.
Take the guy out of the booth, bro. Bro, get out of my booth, bro.
You with him? Let him go.
Go, bro. Go with him, bro. Get out of my booth, bro. Get out of my booth. Hurry up, bro.
Hey, good to see you, man.
No, it is.
Huh?
You see me.
You chill.
I make the music.
Yeah.
I run a business, so I can watch things from a different standpoint.
Man, it was just, I mean, goons, it was one goon, really it was his manager, but yeah, that was wild, man. That was crazy.
All right, but you're actually protected by Vlad TV security.
Man, shout out to Vlad for coming through with the security, man. That is, seriously, shout out to the security, man. Like, they killed it. Yeah, man, I really appreciate you kind of tapping me in with some good security out in Las Vegas, man. So shout out to Gab, who organized it, my guy JT and Ray. Like, they were epic security. So yeah, they made sure that I was straight in that situation, and I got you to thank for that, man.
Of course, man. My pleasure. Well, let's talk about what happened, because you were at ComplexCon, you were hanging out with academics, and Central Cee was there. Right? Now...
Well, okay, actually, it's kind of the other way around. We was walking around ComplexCon, just sort of looking around, taking in the vibes. We'd been there for maybe like an hour or two, not very long. Mm-hmm. And then I see from a distance, I spot in a distance like I caught a rare Pokemon, I see academics and Central Cee together. So it was a completely like random occurrence. It was just like, yo, they're over there. Ask my mans. Let's just go see what's up. Let's just go see what's going on. But it was random. It wasn't like I was with academics, because I think some people think that academics kind of maybe like lined Central Cee up, and that's false. Like, that's not true. It wasn't a play. Me and Ack didn't plan it. I see them over there. I was like, let me go over there.
Well, I usually go by the rule that if I talk bad about someone and I see him out, I usually don't talk to him.
That's a good rule. It's a good rule.
And I have not followed this rule over the years. Me and Drake had a little thing that happened at one point, because I approached him and he felt that I was talking trash about him. Really not me. It was like Charlemagne and people like that. And a situation almost occurred. And after that, I'm like, if I see someone and I know I've been very vocal about them, I just won't say anything. That's it. I'll just let him come and go, and that's that. But you decided to actually approach him.
I did, man. I did. And I feel like, look, a lot of people have tried to come at me and say, like, you was antagonizing Central Cee. Like, it was a random occurrence. I'd gone to ComplexCon to network, to meet people, to have viral moments. It really was just like the crazy chance encounter. But I'm not going to lie, like, I just felt like, look, we in a venue, everybody's here, mingling, mixing. ComplexCon's known for people having crazy face-offs and altercations. I just said, look, I'm just going to go over there and see what happens. I'll keep it real. I did not expect to even get that close. I was thinking, okay, let's see if we can get over there. Let's get in the booth. Maybe I'll buy some of his merch. And like, I was thinking, I'm probably going to get turned away from the booth, and that's probably going to be a little moment. Like, Trap Lord Ross couldn't get in. I was shocked that I even got up close enough to where he was putting his hand out to shake my hand.
Well, right. You guys started to talk a little bit, and you were like, I did say that you had like the best album out of the UK. So he kind of gave you like a half-hearted handshake.
It was a weak handshake, but it was a handshake nonetheless. And he reached out. He reached out for the handshake. I'll keep it real with you, Vlad, because I look, all right, I'm a troll. I've been saying a lot of bad stuff about him. I've said a lot of good stuff too. I'm a very independent, like, unbiased journalist, okay? I gave a lot of opinions about him, some good, some bad. I could not believe when he put his hand out to shake my hand. That blew my mind. When that was all going on, I was thinking, bro, I didn't think I was going to get into the booth, all right? And then next thing you know, he's reaching his hand out to shake my hand. Now, here's the interesting thing, okay? We ended up having a little back and forth. Obviously, I walked in there. When I got up behind academics, I said, yo, what's up, Ack? Like, this is a crazy place to meet you. Like, you think we could squash the beef? And then Akademiks kind of brought me into that conversation with him to say, let's squash the beef. He said, there's no beef. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I thought there was a little beef. And then he reached out to shake my hand. I'll keep it real with you. For everyone that says I hate Central Cee, I got a big problem with him. In that moment when he shook my hand, I was thinking, like, man, like, he a nice guy. And we had a little back and forth. I didn't get any negative vibes from him at all. I thought he was a cool guy. And it's very unfortunate that his manager came over and basically got to try and oppress me, because I feel like if we'd have been allowed to have that conversation for a couple more minutes, I think we would have come to some understanding. I would have said some really positive stuff. I would have said, look, man, like, it's ironic because the stuff that he said after I left about, look, I'm just a brand entity. I'm not really like, I'm not really everything that I portray. I feel like we could have actually come to an understanding, had got off on a positive terms, and realistically, there probably would have been like 2 years worth of positive press from me for Central Cee, because it's like we could have gained an understanding. He could have clapped back at some of my points, and then it could have been like, Central Cee is a super cool guy, super nice guy. Like, I'm not going to be too harsh on him anymore. But his manager came over, got to pressing me, and then it was kind of like, okay, well, it's kind of up. This is the moment now, because I thought the moment was going to be me and Central Cee shaking hand, having an understanding, and moving past the animosity. And then it's kind of like, I feel like looking back, I feel like his manager kind of played that wrong. Yeah, they got an issue with me, but like, I'm the media. Like, it would have been better off for us to squash it, have like almost like a heartwarming moment and get me on your side. But, he came over, he did his thing.
Well, you essentially call Central Cee a studio gangster.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I mean, that's not a flattering thing to say about somebody, but I felt like it was true. And I said his music's great. He's #1, the best music that a rapper has to offer in the UK in this era, but he's not really killing people. He's not really stabbing people. He's not rolling around with the knives and like, that's not what was going on. And it's like, obviously that's disrespectful if your whole image is based on, I'm portraying this gangster persona, but it's like, I don't know, you could probably point to other people. I mean, I don't know who else comes to mind, but it's like a lot of rappers have been very successful. They make great art. It's like, I low-key in the video, I low-key showed him respect and said, look, the reason that Digger D, who's your main enemy, who's really about all of that stuff in West London, is in jail, unable to release music, is because he really was. So Central Cee, you the smart one. So it's like, there's all these little positive things in there that I feel like were overlooked because they took that to heart. But it's kind of like, we could have hashed that out in that conversation and then had a positive kind of footing for our relationship. And again, I feel like if we were just allowed to talk for another 2 minutes, I think we would have actually like squashed it. I would have had a better perspective going forward. I feel like I would have given him an opportunity to clap back at what I was saying. And I wouldn't have been like, I'd have been like, oh yeah, no, I hear where you're coming from. Like the same stuff he said to Akademiks 10 minutes later, if he'd have said that to me, I think we would have had an amazing exchange and it would have been positive press. But it's not what happened.
So his manager started to press you and basically telling you, get out?
Yeah, he came over. So if you see the clip, right, he basically came over and I'm in conversation with Central Cee. I was about to say something. And basically, I wasn't going to say something nasty, but I was about to kind of bring up the kind of the animosity about the documentary and kind of have that back and forth. You hear me basically say like, I heard, and then as soon as I'm even about to kind of get into this dialogue, his manager comes over and basically says like, what are you doing here? And this is the funny thing. I don't think anybody, even the people with me, I don't think anybody knew what it was except for me, because I know everything I've said about him. I know the back and forth. I know they were mad. I know that his crew of like, try to press other UK creators in the UK when they've run into each other.
Oh, really?
It's a known thing. There's a guy called Billy the Goat, a guy called Cremo. Like they've both ran into him and his manager and had issues with him in the UK. Now, so I'm knowing, as soon as I see him, the manager, I'm like, I know what this is about to be, but I don't think anyone else knows. So he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm just saying what's up. And he says like, what do you mean saying what's up? Like, what do you mean saying what's up? And I'm kind of like, I know what this is about to be, because low-key, this is where they messed up, is that like they low-key gave me like a viral moment, and I don't feel like they necessarily came away looking too good, because like before I even turned up, there's a little clip, you're going to see it, where it's like they're hearing whispers that I'm around, and like his manager comes over, is like, Trouble Ross here, and they're all like looking around, looking for me. Somehow I managed to get in there, and so anyway, like the manager basically is just saying to me like, yeah, like what you doing here? And he's just like, no, there ain't no saying what's up, like get out. And then I'm kind of like, you hear me say, I'm like, oh, is that what it is? But I'm with my security. Maybe he didn't notice that I have my security kind of like right by me. And then he starts yelling in my face, like, get the fuck out the booth. And I'm kind of like, all right, like, yeah, maybe. And then basically it's like my security is like, yo, relax. Like to his manager, like, yo, relax. And he's a big guy. Like, bro, he a big dog. Like, bro, I ain't trying to fight this guy. Like, I want that. But I have my security. So I'm kind of like, you ain't really good. You ain't really able to do anything to me right now. But also like, all right, I'll get out. I kind of slowly got out and basically was just like, bro, we can talk. Like, you ain't letting me have a conversation with him. Like, me and you can talk. Let's talk it out. Like, you guys clearly have this issue with me. Get it off your chest. Let's talk it out. So what you didn't see after that clip on Akademiks' stream, but my camera guy doing my vlog was filming. Once we get outside, his manager comes over to me, and then we basically had a little back and forth. And it was interesting, man. It was interesting. Some people saying I stood on business. I definitely wasn't backing down, and he did say he was going to punch me, but no punches were thrown.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what that means. So, like, you say you're going to punch me, you didn't punch you. Like, that's a lot of people have been saying, I don't feel like I was acting tough. Like, he was saying, you think you're a tough guy. I was like, I'm not a tough guy. I've never been a tough guy. I'm here to have a conversation. And, like, what we doing? I'm here. I said it a few times. I said, look, I'm here right now. Let's have the conversation. It's happened. Like, let's talk. And he basically just said, like, if you know you got a problem, you shouldn't come into the booth. You should send your security to come and check if he wants to talk to you. And I didn't say this, but it's just kind of like, bro, like, I know what it is. Like, obviously, I'm not going to send my security to go and ask. Obviously, he's not going to have me in there. It was really it was a game of buckaroo. Like, let me see how far I can get before this thing goes left. And that's when it went left. And it just, it is what it is. I think his manager was thinking he was going to press me on some tough stuff. Maybe didn't realize that I was securityed up and that really wasn't going to run. And then kind of like flopped, really, when really I feel like we should have had a positive conversation, like a more man-to-man, and just, they could have just been like, yo, we didn't feel how you were portraying it, and then I could give my reasons, then we could have got on an equal footing. But it's like, they was like, we're going to press him on a tough guy thing, but then it's like, but I got 2 security, so then it's kind of like, what we doing? Then he just walked away.
Well, this is why you have real security as opposed to some street guys that you may know or some tough guys around you or whatever, because real security will conduct things professionally and de-escalate situations. Whereas if you had some guy whose job is there to be tough, he would now engage the manager and be like, no, I'm about to punch you in the face. And then, because your security wasn't saying that, I wouldn't send someone with you that was going to make the problem worse. So they didn't necessarily de-escalate, but they kept things even. And this is why you have professional security as opposed to just the homies around. This is a perfect example.
For sure. And it's funny because there's been a lot of response. I'm not going to lie, I would say mostly positive response for me in what happened. But like, there's been a lot of people kind of making this comment like, oh, you would have never done that with security. It's like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like if it was just me and that giant dude was chasing after, bro, I'm running. Like, that is what it is. But I step with security to events where I know that there's going to be a problem or overly fans. Yeah, I'm having security. Like, that's the smart thing to do. So it really wasn't something where like I felt like I was trying to be tough. I didn't press it. I wasn't trying to be tough, but it was just like, this is a public event. I'm here. I've seen you guys are here in public. I've seen you. We're all at the same event. It could have been me. It could have been any other number of people. But like,
yeah,
your security was kind of lacking because I shouldn't have even. I'm surprised I got in the booth. Honestly,
right? Because Central Cee has security also.
I didn't. I don't know where they was. Like, I didn't see him. I see his big manager and then like 2 of the man them in like shiesties. But like, it just went how it went, man. Honestly, for me, it couldn't have gone better. It was perfect. Like every step of the way, I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just like we're walking around ComplexCon, like we're trying to look for content. We see Central Cee and Akademiks. We're like, this is perfect. And then we're like, let's go and see if we can get into the booth. We get let straight into the booth. We're like, perfect. This is great. Perfect. We're in here. Like, I'm like, let me see if I can go say what's up to Akademiks. Next minute, I'm shaking hands with Central Cee. I'm like, this is perfect. Like, we're in here. Like, I don't know how that was allowed to happen. I feel like it could have played out differently, but at the same time, like I really don't have an issue. It's not a tough guy thing. People have been saying, don't ever do that again. Bro, I'm not bumping into no Lil Durk. I'm not bumping into no young boy. It just so happened I bumped into Central Cee. And like, it went how it went. I'm grateful for the security for having my back. I'm grateful for Complex for putting on a good event where things like that can go on. Like really, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if after all that was said and done, even Sench and his manager were probably like, yeah, we had the most viral moment at ComplexCon. Like, that was a good look for everyone. So, definitely not trying to run into him again, but,